Hi guys, this is Masina Titi and welcome back to my channel at Ninja Hustle. If you're new here, don't forget to click the subscription button and the notification bell to notify you when we go online. This is our first ever live stream. I'm a bit nervous, so I apologize in advance. But I promise you, you don't want to drop out of this call. You want to stay tuned because I have an exciting guest. Forex trading is something we want to speak about today. And I've got an expert on the show who will be speaking to us about Forex and his experience so far. We all know that Forex trading seems a bit alien to a lot of us. But we now live in a technology era which ensures that information is accessible to everyone. Our guest today is Leon.E. Brown. He's the owner of Christian English Bespoke. He's an FX lover and a technical analyst. Leon has over 15 years experience in the Forex space. His career has seen him working with high-profile investment banks in the UK. But Leon is not stopping there. His passion for the global Forex market is entrenched in his ability to transfer that knowledge to those with similar interests. So, I hope that I'm speaking to somebody out there and everybody's tuning in and you have your questions ready for him. Because as a technical analyst, he's trained to identify market trends and the opportunity they present. Leon understands the risk in financial management, which allows him to provide a comprehensive, incisive strategy when it comes to trading. We're excited to have him on the show. Hi,
hey,
Leon.
hey, Marcelina, how are you? You did it. You did it.
Finally, I hope I didn't mess up that introduction.
No, I couldn't believe that you were. I couldn't believe you're talking about me. I was like, wow, I sound great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
God, I'm so glad to have you. I'm so excited. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
You're very welcome.
Okay, I'm going to do my best. My very first live stream.
You're doing great. I wouldn't believe this is your first one. I think you're doing absolutely brilliant.
I think for me, the live stream is about talking to people like you who teach us a thing or two about issues that are important for us.
Yeah.
I hope that we can learn something here.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Marcelina.
So I'll dive into the first question, Leon.
Oh, it's a good one. I've got them written up. I've got the answers prepared. I think I know. I thank you for sending them to me ahead of time because it just helps me to get my mind ready for where we're going with this call.
Okay, great. So explain to us in a nutshell what FX entails.
So, FX is part of the global financial market. And very simply, it is the swapping of one currency for another currency. All right. So we know that, you're in Niger now and you're going to come to the UK. You cannot take the Naira that you live and earn and work that you earn with and take it and spend it in the UK simply because we don't accept that currency here. Neither can I take my Great British pounds and move to Germany or to America or to wherever it might be in the world because they don't take that currency in those countries. So when you are living and earning and working in one currency and you want to pay for goods and services or travel to another currency, very simply, we've all done it before when we go on holiday, we need to create a foreign exchange transaction. And that foreign exchange transaction is the marketplace which I am involved with, and so many other people are involved with. It's a massive market, Marcelina. It's very, very big. So it's simply just swapping one currency for another, really.
I agree with you. It's a big, in the past, when we talk about FX, it was like leave it to the experts. But now everybody knows about it. Everybody's thinking, what to do with my money? Tell me about this. I want to learn about this. So this is an exciting time. It's a very exciting time.
And for me, it's been really interesting being at the cutting edge of this technology. I've been involved with foreign exchange trading now for well over 20 years, and maybe even a little bit longer. And when I was working in the investment banks, it was a new thing. Electronic trading was new for the investment banks. So seeing that come full circle now to the point where we all have an electronic trading app in our pocket, which is basically our mobile phone, is phenomenal, man. The world has advanced so quickly. It's crazy.
Very true. Very true. So that brings me to the next question. What are the common mistakes made by beginners in the Forex trading space? And helpful tips for addressing those mistakes, please.
Oh, well. there are some mistakes which not even experienced people still make, right? But for beginners, the most common mistake that beginners make, and this is going to sound very counterintuitive, is that beginners trade for money. They come into FX trading thinking that I can make money here, right?
Which but that's the point.
Exactly. That's the point. But I think that beginners come in trading for money. And once you get a little bit more professional, once you get a little bit more into the whole idea of what trading is, we actually trade for risk to reward. It's a different way to think, right? So let me try to give you the example. If I was going to say to you, Marcelina, I'm going to give you a coin flip. It's a 50-50 chance. You give me £10 and I'm going to give you £10 back, but it's a 50-50 chance, right? Would you take that chance? Would you jump at it, or would you think about it?
I mean, 50-50, you have to think about it, right?
Right. Okay. So the risk to reward doesn't really make sense. Now, what we do as traders is we say, look, I'm only going to put that £10 to work if there's a chance that I'm going to get £40 back or £50 back. Otherwise, if I don't see that opportunity to get £50 back, I just keep my £10 in the pocket. So we trade for risk to reward rather than trading for money. That's one big mistake. So, and I would really advise new traders to understand risk management if you're really going to take it seriously, not just trading for the money, but trading for risk management. And a lot of traders don't trade without rules. I mean, we've all got rules for life, right? A lot of people come into their trading world and thinking, I learned how to click the buttons, but they don't have a set of rules around why they trade, when they trade, what trades they're looking for. So they're just a little bit scatterbrained. So those are two main ones. There are others, of course, but those are.
So I follow you, so I know that you have a global community of traders that you mentor through your platform. How does your trading platform affect how beginners approach trading without losing the investment?
It's an amazing thing, right? So I take my role as a mentor really, really seriously, and I have a structured game plan for everybody that comes to me for FX mentorship. And that game plan starts with just learn the basic set of rules of engagement, like I was telling you about before. What are the basic rules of engagement around trading? What is a pip? What is a candlestick? Right? You've heard all of these words. What is it? What is the information that you can get from these candlesticks, and how do they work together before you even start putting your money at risk? So the mentoring system that I use really takes a hand-holding approach, takes it from the beginning, and make sure that people understand the basics before putting their hard-earned money at risk. Right? We don't want you to risk your hard-earned money.
So you're saying it's important to study, read the material, go through them. But I mean, I've heard people who say, I've read all that, but I still, I just lost the money. How does that work? I mean, it's risk.
So you know what's so funny, Marcelina? The market moves, the financial market moves in a very, very organized way. It's very organized. Some people would even say that it's manipulated. So whether you want to use the word organized or whether you want to use the word manipulated, we can interchange those words.
Okay.
But the key is learning how the market moves. This is the real key. Not just throwing your 50-50 bet or saying, hi, it looks low, let me buy now. The key is knowing how the market moves. And this is part of what I teach people that I'm mentoring.
So when you say knowing how the market moves, what exactly are we to be more specific?
All right, so let's give you an example.
So that people get it.
Sorry, say that bit again.
I'm gonna break it down so it's not too complicated.
Okay. So let me give you an example, right? We all have been watching Bitcoin for the last 12 months or for the last 18 months. Suddenly, Bitcoin has become the word that everybody around the world knows about right now. Now, for those of us who understand the mechanics and the organization of the market, we were clearly able to see that at the beginning of May that Bitcoin was about to go lower. We could see it. We could literally just see the chart. and the chart makes. I mean, I don't know. Should I show you my screen? Should I show you on my screen?
Yeah, you could.
Okay. Why don't we do that, and let's make it a little bit interactive. If I can share this screen, I'm going to share my screen here. Oh, wait a second. I think I need to move this onto another. Let me just try this here. Okay, I'm going to try to. Give me 1 second, Marcelina, and I'm going to see if I can share this, because I'd like to show you how we were able to identify this move in Bitcoin. Let's see if we can do this now. This will be cool. Let's try share screen 1. Okay, what are you looking at now?
Oh, I can see that.
Can you see my chart?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, okay.
So what we were able to see as traders, and I'm going to make it simple so that it's not confusing, right? We were able to see that we had a peak here, this little peak, right? And then we had a second peak here, and then a third peak here. All right, we were able to see that. And I remember I was teaching some people, and I said at this third peak that if at any point we see the price drop below this area here, if at any point we see the price drop below this area here, then we can get ready for a move lower in Bitcoin. All right. And that's what happened. We saw this move, went a little bit lower than here, went up a bit, and then boom. And we were able to predict that just by using a few little simple skills that we teach.
Yeah, I get that. So I have one of my guests asking the question already.
Yeah, cool.
So she said, I mean, for people who keep a 9-to-5 job, how do they effectively monitor their trades?
Yeah, and so working in a 9-to-5 job is still possible to trade. Mm-hmm. But you need to allow yourself more room for the market fluctuations because you're not watching your screen every single day. So people who are trading in a 9-to-5 job, they need to use orders, which are asking your computer or broker to do a specific thing at a specific point in time. So orders become very, very important. And then just making sure that you're not getting stopped out in the intraday move. So you're going to need to leave yourself a little bit more space if you're working 9-to-5. So I have a few people who are doing this, and my recommendation is that you take 20 or 30 minutes before you go to work, analyze your charts for the day, and then set up your trades. And if you can take a little sneaky look at lunchtime or in the toilets when you take a little break, then maybe you could take a little sneaky look at how your trades are doing.
I'm trying to figure out how to share this link. I have no idea.
There's no problem.
My guests want to see. They want me to share the link. Guys, I'm sorry. It's my first time. Okay, I promise the next one will be better. You're
doing so good. Which link are you trying to share?
They want the link for the session so they can share it with friends to come online.
Oh, okay.
They don't know how to do that.
I'm not even sure. Is it the link in the URL? Maybe the link in the web address.
I don't know.
Try this one.
Try that. See if it works.
I just send it to you, and yes, let's see if that works.
Yeah, I just said it. I hope that works. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Maybe they're gonna end up joining it. Maybe they're gonna end up joining our StreamYard.
Okay, let's get to the next question. So I follow you on social media, and I know that you're already teaching your kids to trade. How important is it for parents to do this?
Man, for me, this is the number one on my list of things that I want to pass on to my children. Maybe number one is financial literacy. It's the one thing that is never taught in schools that we need most of in our community, is understanding how money works, how to multiply it, how to keep it once you've got it. So for me, teaching my children to trade is absolutely massive. I have a 19-year-old now. He just turned 19 last month, and he's now a competent trader. And if I was to pass away, I hope it never happens, but if I wasn't to be here, it's one of my greatest achievements is to have passed on the knowledge of how to multiply his money through trading. And then I have a 10-year-old son. His name's Ellis. He's a live wire. He's a middle child. You know, middle children are special, right? Middle children. Are you a middle child, Marcelina? Are you a middle child?
In between there, somewhere around there.
Right. So he's the middle child. He's really special. He's 10 years old right now, and I'm teaching him to trade. And then my baby girl is 8, and I'll start teaching her by the time that she's 9. And the reason why I'm teaching them, believe it or not, and the reason why I'm putting this on some of my social media is because really it's almost child's play. It is almost child's play. If you really break it down to its component parts, then trading is almost, it's like dot to dot for adults. This really is like just putting together a little bit of a Rubik's Cube. And the reason why I say Rubik's Cube is because you can learn to do a Rubik's Cube. It looks really, really complicated at first. I usually have one around here on my desk. It looks really.
I finally figured out how to share the link, and I just sent it to you.
Okay, cool. Where did you send it? Where did you send it?
I sent it to you myself, so you can share.
Cool. Lovely. Yeah, the reason why I mention it as as easy as learning a Rubik's Cube is because a Rubik's Cube can be learned. It looks all complicated when you try and do it without the knowledge, but there are set procedures where you can learn a Rubik's Cube. And literally, I've got my fastest time down to about 1.5 minutes right now on the Rubik's Cube, just because you can learn it. It's something that can be learned, right?
That's interesting because, I think about it. First time I saw you, I was like, well, he's doing something right, because if we had the opportunity while we're growing up to learn this skill while we're still young, imagine where we would be. I mean, it would be a level field, a playing ground for everybody. Like, you catch up very fast. But now you're like the people who taught their kids before now, and they're going, and you just play catch up.
That's it. And we have to teach our children, man, so that by the time they reach, 20, 30, they can do trading alongside anything else that they want to do,
So where do you start when you want to train your kids? Where do you start? Where do you go to? People ask those questions. Where do I register my kids to learn this thing? Where do I start? This is very complicated for adults.
That's really good. I mean, I don't know. Is this the point where I tell you my website, Marcelina? I don't know. What do we do?
Please.
Listen, you can just check out my website or my Instagram handle. You can see that here on the screen. I am Leon Brown _. And if you want to go onto my website, it's LBFX, L for Leon, B for Brown, FX.co.uk, lbfx.co.uk, and you just register your interest there. And I can do group classes for children. I can do group classes for adults, but enough of the self-promotion for now.
Honestly, one of the things people think about is that I want to do this, but where do I go? That information is not out, especially when you want to do it for kids. I had a guest who is the founder of Data Science Nigeria. And because, we did our interview and then he started promoting stuff, I followed him on Instagram and I saw that he had a class for kids. I was so excited. I shared it with my whole family, my friends. I'm like, guys, get your kids in this class.
So, I mean, imagine you're basically giving them a 20-year head start on where you started with this information, or where I started with this information. So it's great. And you know what? The kids pick it up like this. If I called my little baby daughter into the room right now and said, baby, I want you to show me the last down candle before the up move starts, she will be able to do it. It really is. It's simply enough for kids to get, man. No reason why we can't do it as well.
Great stuff, Leon. How can young people today understand and correctly interpret the information that is available when it comes to Forex trading and financial independence?
Yeah, okay. So Forex trading, number one, don't believe everything you see on Instagram. All right, this is really important. Don't believe everything, for the young people especially, don't believe everything you see on Instagram, everything you see on TikTok or on YouTube. There is a lot of kind of Wild West out there with this particular industry. A lot of people who do not have good intentions, who are not trying to elevate. There are a lot of people who do not have the right intentions. So number one, for the younger people especially, do not believe everything you see on Instagram. Trust me when I say it's a what's the word? where did the Cowboys play? In the Wild West. It's the Wild West out there. It can be the Wild West, right? The other thing for financial independence is really important to get around somebody you can trust. Be around somebody who has a good reputation, who knows exactly what they're talking about, who is in it for the right reasons, and who can answer your questions about FX trading with confidence and knowledge, right? It's really, really important. Can you get basic answers to simple FX questions from the person that you are talking to? So really get around someone you can trust. Don't believe everything you see on Instagram. And I would also say, Marcelina, use YouTube very sparingly, right? You use YouTube very, very sparingly. There is some good information on YouTube, but the system, whether we believe it or not, is not designed for us to have this information. The mechanics of how the markets works is not really out there for everybody to know. You need to get around somebody who really knows it.
Very true. Because, most people want to, but they don't trust what they see. I mean, you can't blame them.
No, no. But the challenge, the other thing that I found as well is that most people don't actually want to take the time. I find this a lot. Is most people actually don't want to take the time. They want the body, but they don't want to go to the gym. All right, I find it a lot with trading is that they want the benefits, but hey, we got to go and do those reps. We got to go and push. And
Yeah, very true.
yeah.
So I got an off-the-book question from one of our guests. She said, did COVID affect trade, and what was the impact in the market at the early stage of the pandemic now in comparison to now?
So I want to be clear on the question. Did COVID affect the markets, or did
Yeah.
COVID affect my business?
No, the market. So.
Okay, so this was brilliant. So we saw the natural reaction at the start of COVID, which was in about March last year. I've got all the charts I could show you, but maybe that's not the time for that. We saw a really big dip in most asset classes end of March last year. Big drop, particularly in the pound, which is my local currency, and other currencies as well. But even in the chaos, it's so funny when you look back at it now. With the information that I know, it was very organized chaos. The market went to exactly the place where it should have gone and started to rally from a place where a lot of people made a lot of money. Oil dipped to below zero, which is crazy. The pound dropped. Most currencies around the world went into a little bit of panic. But yes, we are now back at a state which is above where we were at the start of COVID last year. Even stocks are above where they were at the start of the pandemic. So everything is actually higher than where it was. Some people could put that down to the government's printing money. So on that could be literally just printing money. But long term, that would have what we call an inflationary effect. It will devalue currencies over in the long term. But yeah, COVID, it really put a little shock into the market, but it was great. A lot of people made a lot of money from that if you could see it coming.
Okay, somebody asked if it affected your own business, and what did you do to change your marketing strategy?
Oh, it's brilliant. So yeah, COVID was great for me in many regards, because all of a sudden people realized, hey, I can't rely on having a job on its own. This was really, really big. People realize I can be furloughed at any moment. I can lose my job at any moment in time. I've only got one source of income. And all of a sudden, people I need to secure myself and have other ways of earning money. So it was all of a sudden, people wanted to know, what is trading? How do I learn? How do I make money? So it was great for me. Marcelina, if we go back into another lockdown, I'm cool with that. All right, I'm personally cool, because I know it means the phone is gonna ring.
If you're that cool, I'm moving to London now.
Yeah. If we lock down again, it means the phone's gonna ring for me. But yeah, since that time, it has cooled off a little bit. I really pivoted out of my clothing company. So I had a clothing company, make suits and shirts and make guys look great. That died basically in COVID. There were no weddings.
Nobody was doing anything.
Exactly. No one's doing everything. Nobody's going to the office needing to look smart. Nobody's seeing clients. So that business kind of died, but it was picked up on the other side with trading. So I'm pretty much full time on the trading and the educating and mentoring people now.
Great. So, oh, people are hot here.
Come on.
Okay, looking at the fact that we may not return to normal post COVID, what do you plan to do?
Okay, could you just repeat that question, please?
Looking at the fact that we may not return to normal post COVID, what do you plan to do?
So for me, that's a great question. I made a choice in 2015 when I left the financial institutions. I worked, let's say 9 years, I worked at Goldman Sachs International. 6 years, I worked at SocGen, which is a French investment bank. And in 2015, the company had been bought out. There was a round of redundancies, and my job was up for redundancy. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not going to do this to myself anymore. Let me tell you. Can I tell you a quick story? And this in order to answer the question. I'd worked 6 years at SocGen, and my time finished with a guy who was my boss and had been a longtime friend of mine in the industry, even before he became my boss. Called me into an office, and we had like a 3-minute conversation. This is really true. This is true. The 3-minute conversation went something like this, and I remember it because it scarred me, right? He said, Leon, listen, you know that the company has been bought out. There are some changes and some shufflings going on, and unfortunately, your job doesn't exist anymore.
What?
This is my friend and my boss telling me this. Your job doesn't exist anymore. Now listen to this, Marcelina. He said, since you left your desk to come to this office, your email account has been terminated.
Really?
All right, listen. He said your BlackBerry. Anybody remember BlackBerries? You remember the BlackBerries we used to have, right? He said your BlackBerry has been turned off. He said your credit card has been terminated. The flight that you're meant to take to Stockholm tomorrow to go see those clients, I don't want you to take that flight. You don't need to go. And your access pass is going to let you out of this building one more time, and it will never let you back in again. Now, what I want you to do, Leon, he said, I want you to go to your desk. Listen to this. He said, I want you to take what you can carry. Right? And the rest of the stuff we'll send to you in 30 days. Have you got any questions? All right. And that was the end of my time. And I walked out of there and I said, there's never going to be a day in my life again when I let one person have that much control over the direction of my life. I said, I'm never going to do it. I'm never, ever going to be in that position again where it affects me that much. And so from that point of view, I made a decision to work at building my own empire, building my own income streams, building money and living life on my own terms. And I promise you when I say it has not been easy. I promise you when I say I'm still on the journey, I'm still on the road, all right? And that I haven't achieved everything that I thought I would achieve at this stage. But the answer to the question in terms of if COVID doesn't return to normal, I'm cool with that. I'm really cool with the way that I earn money right now. I'm cool with being uncomfortable. I'm cool with having to attract clients into my business. I'm cool with that. For me, it's better than the security of having a long-term job and being unfulfilled. For me, it's not the same for everybody, but that's my drama. That's my story. So my mission is what I'm trying to do is help everybody to experience that same type of freedom to be able to make money on their own terms. That's part of what I'm doing.
Great. Takes me to my final question. So if you guys have any more questions before I ask this one, to be a good time to post your questions. That advice would you give to Nigerians or just basically all our viewers who have lost money in Forex out of ignorance?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question. Thank you for asking that one. What advice would I give? Look, anything you chase, what happens to something that you chase, Marcelina?
Kind of runs away from you.
It runs from you, right?
Yeah.
So anything you chase runs from you, and anything you coax comes to you. All right. So one of my pieces of advice to anybody who's looking to get into this game is, as counterintuitive as it might seem, is to take your eyes off the money at the start. Let's just pretend that it's not a money issue, that there's not unlimited opportunity to earn money from this for the moment. Let's just leave that to the side and learn the skills that it will take you to earn money from this marketplace. Take your eyes off the money and look at the skill set. Anything you chase runs from you. So if you're chasing the money, it can never work. It can never work. You won't be thinking right. Your psychology won't be right. You'll be making decisions that are incorrect. So anything you chase runs from you. Anything you coax comes to you. So you need to learn before you earn.
That's very true, right? What you're saying is very true, because I notice that every time, whenever I put money in any investment and I don't think about it, I mean, if they say, "Oh, it's crashing," I'm like, "Yeah," but I'm not ready to just let it go to grow. I don't freak out. But the minute I'm thinking about, oh my God, and then everything goes wrong, and then you're just, overwhelmed with everything. There's so much pressure on you, and most people you tell them there's an investment, they put their whole life savings in it.
Wow.
Entire savings in it, and then they can't sleep anymore. I don't know how to do that.
No, this is not good. This is not good for the mind and the soul. You really got to take things slow, have a balanced portfolio, make sure that you're talking to an investment advisor, somebody that you can trust. And if you are getting into trading for the first time, practice first. I mean, part of trading is they give demo accounts. They just give out demo accounts, which is no risk. It's fake money. It's numbers on a screen. You can just practice and practice all day long. If you lose it all, nobody cares. If you make $1 million, then you're the only one that's going to be crying because it's not real. It's like just practice. This is the first thing. I still practice. I still try new moves on my demo account without risking my live money. And the example that I use is, imagine a pilot who's flying a plane, passenger plane, but he hasn't been in a flight simulator. You wouldn't get on that plane with that pilot if he hadn't been in a flight simulator.
That's not.
So trading is the same. There's money at risk. There's life at risk. Just go on a practice account 3 months, 6 months, and before you put your money at risk.
I agree with you. I tried that.
Yeah.
Still trying.
Exactly.
It's very fascinating. There's a lot of stuff to read and understand and just learn. Would you say, somebody asked if COVID brought you some form of freedom? I don't know what that means, but
you know what? In many ways it has. In many ways it has. I had started this journey towards my whole kind of freedom before COVID started. So the feeling of being uncomfortable or the feeling of being shocked, I was already there. I'd already been through it. So I kind of transitioned into COVID quite well. I see that there's a need for this business. And yeah, I mean, it's brought opportunities for everybody, I think. It was just a question of spotting them and maximizing it, really.
Great stuff. Thank you so much, Leon. It's been interesting speaking with you. We don't want to let you go.
Listen, I'm so glad. And listen, Marcelina, there's no reason why we only have to do this one time, okay?
Yeah, of course not.
There's no reason. We got the technology sorted out in the end.
Yeah, so, we did. Finally.
Exactly.
I'm trying to get a guest in who's also in the financial market, and I'm planning to do like a call with both of you online, so we can kind of throw ideas back and forth and see what it feels like.
Will be amazing. Will be absolutely amazing. I don't know. Should I let people know how they can find me again? Would that be?
Please.
Yeah. I mean, guys, if any of you want to speak, if you're okay, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, Marcelina.
Of course you can. You can share ideas if people want to contact you and get information.
Yeah, please.
Find you.
If you want information on learning how to trade, speaking to me about any of the topics that we've covered today in this fantastic show with Marcelina, then please feel free just to go onto my Instagram account, which is @IamLeonBrown_, or you can go to my website and register your interest at LBFX, which is L for Leon, B for Brown, FX.co.uk, LBFX.co.uk. Just complete the form, and I'll be more than happy to set a time to have a conversation with you about trading FX.
Thank you, Leon. It's been very exciting speaking with you about this.
You're brilliant, Marcelina. You are. Nobody would know that this is your first time doing live. You are brilliant.
I'm like, what is going on? I can't get through.
You're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Thanks, Rose. She's the one who, my friend of mine, she put me through, told me, this is how you do it. And suddenly nothing worked. You know how you get everything figured out, and then on the day you need it to work, it doesn't work.
You are natural. You are natural at it. It's really good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you to all our guests. You've been exciting. Very good questions you asked. We really appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ninja Hustle. And remember to click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our informative and educative episodes that we bring to you every week. And peace out. What's your hustle? Leon, you don't get to do that. You got to say something. We always end our show with a guest saying who they are and this is their hustle and what's your hustle. So
okay, so listen, my name is Leon Brown. My hustle is I am an FX trader and an entrepreneur. There's money to be made when you learn how to trade.
Yeah, and then you ask them, what's your hustle?
What's your hustle?
Don't worry, we'll get it right next time.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been fun.
Take care. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. This was really exciting. My first time live streaming, and we hope to bring more interesting guests to you. Don't forget, we'll be bringing. You don't know which person we'll be bringing to you, but I'm sure it will be exciting, and you'll learn a thing or two from them. So thank you for the short notice, and for all of you who tuned in and asked questions. We really appreciate you. Peace out.